Providing a ruling following two preliminary hearings held last month, High Court Judge Mr. Justice Swift said on Thursday that evidence filed in support of the Duke's claim included irrelevant evidence. This, he continued, was inadmissible and should be excluded from the proceedings. The judge also said he rejected submissions from Prince Harry that the reasons for this conclusion should be in the public part of his judgment. This, the High Court judge said, would defeat the purpose of the exercise while serving no public interest. Mr. Justice Swift said, "Legal proceedings do not exist for the purpose of permitting parties to put irrelevant matters in the public domain, and the court must be astute to ensure that proceedings, legitimately pursued, do not become the occasion to publicize irrelevant material." In his judgment handed out on Thursday, Mr. Justice Swift said the bid to redact documents was allowed. Stressing this judgment simply focuses on which information should be kept confidential rather than on the merit of Harry's claim, the judge said. This judgment does not consider the merits of that claim. It concerns only the extent to which it is necessary for information relied on in support of the claim to remain confidential. He continued, "Some of the information relied on concerns security arrangements put in place either for the claimant or for other public figures in the United Kingdom. For obvious reasons, information on such matters usually remains confidential." Mr. Justice Swift said that some parts of his reasons for the decision would have to remain confidential as well. Editing out information from court documents would avoid the risk that putting information into the public domain concerning security arrangements made on past occasions, and the general approach to whether and if so what arrangements should be made, may impair the effectiveness of arrangements in place now, or which may be put in place in the future, the judge explained. He also said, "Information about these matters would self-evidently be of interest to anyone wishing to harm a person within the scope of the security arrangements and would assist him to piece together previous practice with a view to anticipating present or future security provision." The judge also criticized the legal team of Prince Harry on Thursday for breaking the embargo of the judgment. He said the copy of Thursday's ruling had been emailed to someone who was not a lawyer by someone in the Duke of Sussex's legal team. He called this move entirely unacceptable. The judge continued, "It should have been obvious that what happened was a breach. At the very least, it should have been obvious that it needed to be reported to the judge, me, as soon as possible." He later said, "It is also unacceptable that you come without an apology to the court." Ms. Fatima apologized and said she took full responsibility for the episode. High Court judgments are typically provided to lawyers in the case in a draft under embargo ahead of being made public.
Step